Hey!
God. Hey everyone, welcome to our special social distancing edition
Of Wednesday night OWCP Chats.
with Chris and Gini. And my shirt, I'll call you later.
Mine says, I do what I want, when I want, where I want, except I gotta ask my wife, one sec.
Very true.
Not true.
Anyway, we are going to be talking about the CA1, the CA2, when to file it, and we're going to touch, as I said on the Facebook page, the best of our knowledge about what's going on with this coronavirus. We're not experts on this.
Nobody is.
Even though we both have huge medical backgrounds, we haven't been doing that anymore. But we're only going to tell you what we know as far as your rights and what you can do. And we've had a lot of messages and calls on folks in the federal world that have had the virus, that are being quarantined, and we're praying for everyone so this could just all pass ASAP. Is my hair white right there?
For sure, no.
I don't know. It looks like I have gray hair. Hey, okay. So, before we begin, do you want to say anything for anything else?
Yeah, so we're getting a lot of questions on this COVID. And listen, nobody knows anything. Nobody. Maybe a couple of people, but I'm not one of them. So, my expertise is OWCP. We're getting people asking all the time, can I get covered by OWCP if I get the coronavirus? So, the short answer is yes, you can. You can be covered, but proving that you got it at work is going to be the trick, and I think it'd be awfully hard to prove it. We got some guidance to, I don't know what day that notice came out.
Yeah, bulletin. I know a lot of you sent me the link. I must have had like 25 of you send me that link that I did post as far as USPS goes.
Yeah.
I know it's different with AFGE, but as far as USPS goes, I really think that you guys should follow that bulletin.
Yeah, well, that's the only real written guidance that you have, is that bulletin. But it essentially says if you need to take care of a family member, you can have time off paid. If you're sick, you can have time off paid. If you've been exposed and test positive, you can have time off paid.
Yeah.
But one thing it doesn't say is that if you're fearful of catching it, you can have time off. You can't. If you think you've been exposed, you can have time off. You can't. The only way to be off for the 14 days and get paid is to test positive, and isn't that a deal? I hope that doesn't happen, that you don't test positive. But if you do, or if somebody in your household does, then you get 14 days off. You just have to prove that there was a positive test. 14 days paid. And let me say this, I'm a big fan of all the federal employees, especially now, like more than ever.
Yeah.
Because you're all working. When the rest of the country is non-essential and mostly, and staying at home and twiddling their thumbs and finding I don't know what things to do, you're working, and so we're really grateful.
Yes.
Thank you to everybody that's out there getting it done.
We are so humbled. I mean,
Really?
Not only as him and I and our family members and our kids, that the essential folks are still working and fighting this and having to deal with people with contact with the virus. It's a little scary and
a lot scary. I mean, people are dying from this. And
a lot.
Doctors, nurses, support staff in the offices, in healthcare settings. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank God for you. Where would we be without you? And the post office is still delivering mail. We even saw mail trucks out, LOBs on Sunday.
I know. Yes, we did. They were delivering mail, but we want to say that we are thinking of everyone nationwide, and we are hoping that everyone stays safe from this, and this will pass.
And TSA, I mean, they're still screening people. I mean, you talk about up close and personal. TSA is still screening. Law enforcement, federal law enforcement, you're still doing your job. You don't get to take the time off. Yes. So all of you have a lot of chances to be exposed to this, and I'm really hoping that you don't. So do what you got to do. Wear your mask, your gloves, take your hand sanitizer, wash your hands a lot. It's just steer clear of people, but so many of you just can't.
Oh.
So we're very grateful that you're out there doing what you do. I always say, and I never thought that it would come to this, but I have this quote that I thought up of a few years ago, that federal employees make this country go. When they break, we have to fix them.
We do.
And that's what we do here. But federal employees make this country go. Look, you're out there doing this thing during a pandemic. So pat on the back to all of you, and a big thank you with so much gratitude from our heart. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I wanted to say hello, everyone. Hello, Cindy, Jerry, Maureen, a good family friend, Raleigh, more like a cousin. Hello. He said a big hello. Tammy.
Hey, Tammy.
Oh, Linda, you want my shirt? I actually got this at a store named Buc-ee's in Texas. But I did see it because a few people had seen me wear it when we went to Kentucky. And I searched for it, and it does sell on Amazon. So just Google alcohol you later.
You'll find lots of
and
them.
you'll find it there.
Yep.
Yes, this is crazy stuff. Oh, thank you, Yvonne. Alabama's watching.
Alabama, roll tide.
Derek's on there.
So
nice
Derek.
shirt. Thank you. Oh, mine or Chris's. Chris, what did yours say again?
So I do what I want, when I want, where I want, except I gotta ask my wife. 1 sec.
Obviously, I bought the shirt. Anyways.
Hey, so speaking of doing what I want, when I want, where I want, we've been doing it here. We're on our back porch
We're in
tonight.
our backyard. This is our backyard.
We got some
back
cool
here.
weather. It's like in the 60s out here right now, which
Yes.
is weird.
I'm loving it.
We actually
That's why
want
I'm in a sweater.
We actually need a heat wave
Yeah.
to cross this country, but we're sitting outside. We've got our park bench, our refrigerator, our fan, our table, our grill, these chairs. So this is where I've been spending almost all of my
That's
time.
where we've been. We've been working here.
The Wi-Fi reaches out here, so that's nice.
Yeah, and we've been having frat parties every night with these 21-year-olds and
It is like a
teenagers.
it is a frat house in here. Now, don't get me wrong. We are definitely adhering to the rules. We have less than 10 people at all times. Nobody's coming and going that doesn't belong here, but we've got 10 people that are just kind of trapped here, that are our kids and us and our other kids.
Tammy said, "Don't look so defeated, Chris. Happy wife, happy life."
Hey, tell me about it. Look, I'm no dummy, all right? It's not my first day and all the stuff that I say. 100% right.
And my hair is not gray. I think it's just the light. I don't know what's going
but
on.
What have you all been doing? I mean, we're going to obviously talk some OWCP, and if you got a question, pop it out there. I'm going to answer your questions. But what have you been doing all this time? Now, most of you that are watching this are probably working, but when you're not working, what are you doing? You're not going to the grocery store all the time, and there's almost like alcohol. Liquor places are open. Who knew liquor was essential?
It is essential.
The gun stores are now open. Restaurants are all delivering. And, we're trying to keep up and keep our favorite restaurants in business, but we're just one family.
We really, I just cook every day. And last night I made 2 batch of brownies. So.
Not that kind of brownie.
What kind of brownie?
Not those brownies. These are just chocolate brownies.
Chocolate brownies. What were you talking about?
Not those brownies.
Okay,
Your sister's
whatever.
kind of brownies.
So before we begin into talking about the CA1, CA2, and when to file these injuries, and also, again, going over a little bit of the coronavirus to the best of our knowledge from the information that we've seen on AFGE that has been sent to us, and also for the USPS that's been sent to us. So, and then we're going to be answering your questions. So,
but before you move on, go ahead. But let's don't get to the topic yet. But go ahead.
Go ahead, and don't forget to tag your friends that need to watch this about the CA1 and CA2. And don't forget to share, and share.
JJ's watching. Hey, JJ, what's up?
So please go ahead and share.
One of the things I wanted to say while you're sharing, and you should all share, share, is we asked, or Gini specifically asked earlier in the week, for you to, if you've had a good experience with federal injury centers or anybody that, we're associated with, any of the doctors that we've trained, we'd really appreciate it if you'd just take your phone and record yourself giving a personal statement about your experience.
Oh, yeah.
And, in that video, we'd like you to say that it's okay for us to publish it, because that's our intent, is to publish it. We're trying to help more people. Some for future patients that need the help. It will help them to hear your experiences. We're also using it to recruit doctors, because without good doctors who are trained in my system, you can't get your claims accepted. And so we're putting together a professional video that we're presenting to future doctors because we're franchising our company. And we'd like to include your stories. So don't worry about making it perfect. We'll do some edits to it, and any dead air or any ums and buts and whatever's you do that I have my own tics when I speak. We'll edit that stuff out. But if you could just email your short video, it doesn't need to go more than 15 minutes. I couldn't imagine. I don't think you probably could go more than 15 minutes. But email it to Gini at federalinjurycenters.com. That's GINI at federalinjurycenters.com. And, just tell us what happened. Tell us your story. What problems were you dealing with before you got to us? And, hopefully we solved the problem, because that's kind of what we do. That's our specialty. And if you could explain how we did, because we want other people to see this and to get the help they need, and we want doctors to get involved with helping. So you can help in that effort by sending us your personal video of your personal story, and we'd really appreciate it. Gini at federalinjurycenters.com is where you should email your video to.
Yeah. So I was just trying to share just some stuff. So I passed on your info. Thank you, Paul, for shared. Cleveland, hello, what's up, y'all, from JJ.
Yeah, and we're not sharing on as many of the union pages as we used to, because frankly some of them didn't want it, and some of them even blocked us, which is really shocking. I'm not getting into that. But if you want to share it to your people, we encourage you to do it. You're here watching us. We're glad you're here. We're going to keep doing this no matter what.
Yeah.
So just keep sharing it. Let you share it with your folks. Tell them to share, and eventually we'll spread this out nationwide to places that haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, so those of you that are new to us, because we've seen, before Chris gets into it in another second here, I'm Jeannie, and this is my husband, Chris, and we host Wednesday night OWCP chats every Wednesday, mostly every Wednesday, unless it's a holiday or something.
Or something's going on where we just shouldn't.
We educate and help you, and you get to learn. We get to answer your questions, anything related to OWCP on your work injuries. So that's what we do, a little husband and wife team. And we have our partners, Tom and Joe in Massachusetts. Marketing, there's Derek, there's our case manager, Jennifer, and Emmy, I'm sure you've talked to them. Our office in Clearwater with Andrew and Dr. Rashanwala, our office in Birmingham with Dr. Harper and Dr. Alexander, and our Norwood and Quincy office
in
with Jay and the group there. So that's what we do. We do this for free. We don't charge you. And we just help you with your OWCP stuff. And if anybody needs to give me a call, my phone number is 877-787-OWCP, or you can find us on the web at federalinjurycenters.com.
Centers with an S on the end.
With an S. And for Android users, we have our Federal Injury Centers app, so you can download that.
And we encourage you to do that because it's got rules, laws, and regulations that are going to help you. It allows you to more easily get to this live video. You can find our Twitter feed, which you should be at our Twitter page at Fed Injury Center. Fed Injury Center, at Fed Injury Center. On that Twitter page, I only post rules, laws, and regulations that are helpful to you. In very short time, I'll be posting that notice about the your time off and how to get paid on COVID. So if you go to at Fed Injury Center, I won't waste your time. I only post things that are relevant and helpful to you. I don't post anything irrelevant, only OWCP related things, or in this case, something that's crucial to your life, like how to get paid if you have to be out of work due to the coronavirus.
So let's get started. We're just going to quickly go over the CA1 and CA2. Everybody's saying they like your shirt. Nobody likes my I'll call you later.
Everyone likes your shirt.
Everybody wants your shirt. Everybody's saying they want your shirt. And Jessica said, my sister-in-law said, nice shirt, LOL.
Mm-hmm. My brother wouldn't wear this. He's a smart guy.
I love Chris's shirt. Okay, before we start answering questions, let me get to this question real quick, Chris.
Go ahead.
This is Cherokee. It says, hello from Plano, Texas. Do you all know anything about modified offers and DRAC? and how far back can you go to file a claim with work comp? Example, I was told that I had to send in my documentation. I thought my supervisor had to do it. I have claims dated back to July 2019.
Okay, so I'm not sure what DRAC is. If you can write in here what those 4 letters of the acronym stand for, that would help me. You have 3 years to report and file your injury. So 2019, you're well within your time frame. You're going to be good to go. 3 years, 3 years, 3 years, 3 years is your reporting time frame. Sending in documentation. Your supervisor is responsible for sending in the CA1 or CA2. Your doctor is responsible for sending in medical documentation. You are responsible for sending in your own statement and any responses to questions that were given to you in the mail by OWCP. So that's how that works. You can have your doctor send your statement in as well with the doctor's note, and that's okay as well. They use a system called eComp. But your supervisor has 10 days from the date you fill out your CA1 or CA2 to turn that in to Department of Labor. So that's really what's critical, is that 10 days from the supervisor, and then you and your doctor need to send your documentation in right away. So you need to get to a doctor who knows what they're doing. Now, with that said, you're in Plano. Incidentally, we're franchising our company because we're trying to spread the word on OWCP, and this is the best way to spread it. And so we have a new office coming in online in McKinney, Texas, so it's right down the road. It's
Very soon.
Probably 10 minutes from you. It's right on Central Expressway. You're in Plano, so you know what we're talking about, by El Dorado. And so if you want more information about that, we can help you. But that office is coming online rapidly, okay? So we're really happy about that. So those in Collin County, in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Denton, McKinney area, Plano, there's an office for you to go to now that's a Federal Injury Center's office that is not yet, let's be totally upfront, it's brand new. They will be Federal Injury Centers trained, and that's exactly what you want as an injured federal employee.
Yeah. So Gizmo, everybody always gets Gizmo. He was waving. Okay, so let's get into the CA1 and the CA2.
So the difference is a CA1 is the form you use to report an injury that happens in a single shift. A CA2 happens in 2 or more shifts. And what you have to do is you have to fill out your CA1 form. You fill out page 2 or page 1. Your supervisor fills out page 2. And the 3rd page of this is what's called a notice of receipt. And so you want to fill these things out with your supervisor, face to face, 6 feet apart from your supervisor. And you get a copy of everything from there. Take a copy with you. The law allows you to take that copy. If you get our Twitter page at Fed Injury Center, you'll be able to have access to what that particular regulation is. Because a lot of supervisors don't want to give you the copies, and it's your right to have it. So we want you to be equipped with the laws and regulations so that you don't have that problem. You fill out your CA1 or your CA2 depending on how the injury happened over a single shift or multiple shifts. And you take your copies, your supervisor has 10 days to turn that in, and you go to the doctor. And take all that stuff that you brought with you, all those copies, take it to the doctor because they need to see it.
Yeah.
And so the CA1s and 2s are easy to fill out. They just ask you questions. You fill out fill out the boxes, and it's no big deal. Anybody can do it. Anybody. If you want to look at CA1s and 2s, go to federalinjurycenters.com, and there's an OWCP forms tab. Just click on that, and the forms are in there in PDF form.
Yeah. So that's the difference between a CA1.
And a CA2.
Happened today. Or right now, you go ahead and you file your CA1, or something that's been happening more than one shift. Doing this is a CA2, and you guys are putting the mail going like this.
Could be a CA1. So here's the difference. Here's the difference. So here's some examples of a CA1, something that happens in a single shift. A dog bite. A dog bite happened in a single shift. This one would never bite anybody, okay, except me when I'm playing with them, but I deserve it. So dog bites. And sprained ankles, sprained knees. If you tear your ACL stepping off a curb, or you lift a box and feel a pop in your back, those are all CA1s. A CA2 is something that develops over time. You know, like she was saying, you're moving your arm in and out so many times that your elbow gets inflamed, or your shoulder. For clerks, especially at the post office, a lot of carpal tunnel syndrome.
Yep.
So those are CA2 types of conditions. So if you've got something that just developed over a long period of time, that's a CA2. But if it happened right now on this shift, that's a CA1.
Oh, Tom is on. Hey,
Hey,
Tom.
Tom's our partner in Massachusetts, and he's the other guy in this country that knows everything there is to know about OWCP, and so we're glad Tom's on.
So Tom says, those of you that are doing your testimonials, which is true, go ahead and send it to me on my Facebook Messenger at Gini Helms, so that way the quality is better, he said.
So Tom knows all about this stuff. I know nothing.
So if you guys didn't see his what he said, have the people send the videos to you on Facebook Messenger so that you'll get a full high def quality and not degraded quality. That will happen if you email it. He's saying it's not going to be the greatest quality.
But we'll take it by email too if that's the best way for you to do it.
Well, he said plus most emails don't let you email files that are too large.
All right, so send it on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah. And Mary says, hi, Gizmo. Aunt Mary loves you. That's Gizmo's groomer. She does love Gizmo. Occupational...
Almost as much as we do. Maybe more, actually.
Hi, Ron. Hi from Maryland. Tom, what's up with you? Tom said, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Occupational diseases.
Well, that's a CA2. An occupational disease is a CA2. Disease doesn't mean that you're sick. It can mean anything like carpal tunnel syndrome. You use a CA2 form for that.
All right, so Cherokee said DRAC, D-R-A-C, finds jobs for light duty and make sure you have accommodations. And thanks for the info, but to be clear, I have up to 3 years to get paid for my procedure and doctor's appointments.
So as long as you report your injury within 3 years, you have way more than 3 years to get paid. I mean, it's going to take some time once you report it to get it accepted. So the only timeline you need to be concerned with now is your 3-year reporting deadline. If you met your reporting deadline already, then don't worry about anything else. If you get denied, you have 1 year from the denial to do a reconsideration. There are other timelines you have to meet. So don't miss any deadlines. But as far as getting your injury reported, is 3 years.
Yeah. Don't mind me coughing. I have severe allergies, and I just scarfed my dinner down just to hurry up to go do
And we have
this.
so much pollen here. Look,
It's
my
so
Jeep.
disgusting.
I have a Jeep. It's an incredible vehicle. But every morning I walk outside, and there's pollen all over the hood.
There's pollen. We have pollen. We have pollen everywhere. So we all have asthma, my kids and I, and bad allergies.
And
Chris
they
does
won't
now.
let us go on the beaches right now either because we're all in lockdown. And so the beaches, like to get in, they're all gated. Now look, if you drive a Jeep, you understand. I could obviously drive over the gate, or through it, and that would be okay. And the Jeep, if I let go, it would definitely veer off to the right into the sand. It's its natural habitat. But right now, having it, the only thing it really gets is pollen. It can't get any sand. It's not fair. It's just not fair.
Ignore that.
I'll put a picture of my Jeep on here sometime so you can see it. You'll all enjoy it.
Matt Hayes says, if you're in a motor vehicle accident, no matter how many times, CA1, right, Chris? Helms?
Yeah, Matt. That's exactly right. So if you're injured in that accident, it's a CA1 because obviously that accident happened in a single shift. Although it does make me think of Talladega Nights where that accident at the end, it happens for like ever. So that accident could last multiple days.
It seems like he just quotes movie things. And
I've been
talks
locked
about...
up like all the rest of you for like 3 weeks now.
Okay.
So, anyways, it's a single shift, but I'm glad he brought that up because check this out. The other thing, telling this story actually got us kicked out of a union once because they didn't understand the story. But you need probably to hire a lawyer if you get in that car accident too while you're at work.
Yeah.
Because it's a personal injury. It's a third-party claim. Now on the CA1, there's a question that asks, is this a third-party claim? Was it a third-party accident? And if yes, what they want you to do is pursue the third party. In other words, sue them. And so if you're in a car accident on the job, you handle it like a personal injury claim, in which you would think, well, okay, I need a personal injury lawyer. Not so fast. It's an OWCP claim. So what you need is an OWCP lawyer, and let that lawyer handle the personal injury side of it, because you want DOL to cover your accident, your injury. But when you get that settlement, there are some procedural things that have to happen. Whatever settlement, let's say you get $10,000 in a settlement. After expenses like lawyers' fees and whatever other costs there are associated with the the injury. I'm not talking about medical claims. I'm talking about legal fees, okay? After those expenses, then Department of Labor gets 80% of the settlement, but you get 20% of the settlement. And so if you're injured in a car accident, talk to an OWCP lawyer. If you don't know one, we do. Our lawyer is an OWCP lawyer, Eric Blowers. And he is the best in the world at this. We'll be happy to get you in touch with him. But don't just like try to go at it yourself, because it's hard to beat lawyers when you're not one. You need a lawyer for that.
Okay.
So that's how third-party claims are handled. But one more note on third-party claims. Dog bites can be third-party claims because there's an owner for the dog.
Yep.
So if you know who the owner is, you can file a third-party claim on the owner as well. 20% of the settlement comes to you after expenses.
Yes. So we hope that answered, Matt.
And so the only reason we got kicked out of a union meeting for that is because we brought up lawyers. And they didn't understand that we weren't saying don't use your union people, instead use a lawyer. We love you using the union people, but in this case, your union reps can't file lawsuits on your behalf.
All right, Chad McCoy said, I had a rotator cuff and surgery, impingement surgery, August 2019, that was accepted by OWCP with a CA1.
Okay.
Suffering from lingering effects of nerve block. Had cubital tunnel surgery 7 years ago. Doctor says ulnar nerve inflammation by surgery, and OWCP has denied my CA2 and appeal. Doctor advises I'll not be able to return to work unless the nerve surgery. How do I get OWCP to approve the CA2 for the repetitive motion surgery approval?
Who's that? What's his name?
Chad.
Chad. Chad, let us know where you're located, if you don't mind, city and state. You can't. How do I get this approved? You can't. Your doctor has to. So the way they have to do is they have to write a narrative report that explains the link to the surgery, the cubital tunnel, the inflammation, all the stuff that's going on right now. And this can be done. It can be covered, and you can get treated as a result of this. But you need a doctor who understands how to put that report together. And you most likely won't be able to find one unless you're in an area where we know somebody. That's why I want to know where you're located. And if I know somebody there, I'll tell you to go there, and you'll get taken care of. But that's a complicated case, what you just explained. It's one of the, on the spectrum of complication, it's on the high end. But it's not on the impossible end, because there's no such thing as an impossible claim if the rules support it. So it's not impossible. It's just going to be hard.
Yeah.
And I'll be happy to help you with that, too. If you want to send us a private message on Facebook, I'm sitting around all day long. I got nothing to do. I'll be glad to talk to you on the phone and walk you through it.
Rhonda says you need a cap on Chris's lap. Well, Rhonda, unfortunately, I'm highly allergic to cats.
No cats.
And I break out with ginormous hives, and I'm deathly scared of cats. Long story.
We just do dogs.
Yeah. Kenny Beddock says, how many times can you have a reconsideration?
Oh, great question. So every time you get a denial, it comes with a letter called Notice of Appeal. Is part of the denial letter. And so if you select reconsideration, you have 12 months to reconsider. The only criteria for doing a reconsideration is that you have new information to present. And so if you take your denial letter to your doctor, and your doctor writes a new narrative to refute the denial, then you've got new information. So every denial letter should lead to a new doctor's narrative, and every new doctor's narrative leads to a reconsideration. So in theory, you can have an infinite number of reconsiderations if you have an infinite number of new narratives for them to reconsider. Hope that made sense.
Melinda says, you can have my Jeep's sand. It's casting sand all in my engine.
Yeah, man, I feel for your Jeep. I hope you're able to get that taken care of.
JJ said, we, sir, are not locked up.
No, you're not.
Hi, Linda. Linda Stoner says, we are on the verge of being locked down. Governor is getting a ton of slack. State of Florida going on lockdown tomorrow night. Yes, Pamela, I heard that from today. Melinda said, I've never seen this few people watching. I shared. Thanks. It's, everybody's just doing stuff. People are, it's understandable. We've gone over CA1s and CA2s and, talking about, answering your questions, and everybody's not in their right mind right now with all of this.
A bunch of the union sites requested that we stop sharing on their page. So,
there's only one union that did.
So you need to share.
Yeah.
And if you will, we'd really appreciate it. We're just, you all know what's going on here, so we'd like to get the word out to more people.
Hello from Manchester, New Hampshire. Tom said if Chris gets a cat, I'm quitting. Thanks, Tom. At least he's on my side.
Tom knows I'm never getting a cat.
Beth says, what do you do if you feel like your office is sandbagging the information on the CA7?
Well, there's you can file grievances, and if you're a rule carrier, I might not be talking to you. You could file a grievance. You can file a EEO claim because you're being treated unfairly, and you could
send it directly.
Well, you could send it directly, but you could also, because we're talking about your pay now, that might be an area where you want to talk to a lawyer because we're talking about your money. There are very few areas where I say talk to a lawyer. I happen to tell you 2 of them tonight: the third-party claim and anything that has to do with your money. But you can file grievances, EEO claims, and send it in yourself.
Katina Ross says, can a schedule award be denied?
Sure, they get denied all the time. The key is that you read the denial letter, or better yet, even let your doctor read it and have the doctor respond to it. And you can do a reconsideration on every denial. Doesn't matter what the denial is, you can reconsider it.
When are the offices coming to Ohio?
Who asked that?
Barbara D. Perkins.
Barbara, that's a really great question. The answer is the same as every other state. It seems like we're turning the Titanic. It's been kind of a slow turn, but we're actually so close. Our compliance lawyer, Eric, and our franchise lawyer have talked. They put their heads together. Our franchise agreement is legal. Everything is ready to go now, and we're actually going to be rolling this out to all 50 states. And we've got a marketing plan to attract doctors everywhere, including Ohio. We're outside, so...
They live down here somewhere, because
Yeah.
we hear it overnight.
Yeah. So, the plan is, in the next 12 months, to be in all the states.
Yeah. Tom said, getting kicked out of a union. Job well done.
Yeah.
Tom! Oh my God.
That wasn't the last time either. That was the first time.
Linda said, I'm a rule carrier, I'll never stop watching. Ashley Cox.
Hey, we love you, Linda. Thank you.
Do you have a doctor or know of one that handles hearing loss claims in Kansas, Texas, Arkansas, or Oklahoma?
Well, Oklahoma, you'd be in luck. Disclaimer, we are not in any way associated with him, but Dr. Ellis in Oklahoma City is great, ellisclinic.com. You can go talk to him if you're in Oklahoma. He is really, really good at OWCP. We've got an office in Texas that's about to come on board. And, what we would need to do is refer you out. What a doctor would need to do is refer you out to a hearing specialist.
Yeah.
Audiologist, whatever you need, ENT. And they would get the report back and then incorporate that doctor's report into their narrative and get your claim accepted. It's complicated, but again, not impossible.
She said, I go to Dr. Ellis, he doesn't do them.
Well, Dr. Ellis wasn't trained by me. He does his own thing. I'm sorry we struck out on that one. But we're going to have one in the Collin County area coming soon. In Texas.
So, Ashley, please message me, or myself and Jennifer will get in touch with you, and we will help you out on
It'll be
this.
a little slow,
Yeah.
but it will happen.
And Tom wants you guys to know that he's moving to Ohio just to get some office space to franchise. So he is moving sometime this year.
In the summertime.
So everybody in the Ohio area expect to meet with Tom and come to some union meetings and things like that. And get to see Tom, the funniest guy in our group.
I was the funniest guy.
Huh?
I thought I was the funniest guy.
No, you're too serious. Andrew, hello, Chris and Jeannie. Hey, Dr. Rushmwall and Andrew and the staff. Yes, our Clearwater office is open, like I said at the beginning. All of our offices are open. Clearwater, Birmingham, Norwood, and Quincy.
And we're all
still open.
We're practicing safe procedures. People are staying outside, staying far apart, hand sanitizer, mask, gloves, the whole thing. So we're doing the best we can to help you because you're still hurt in this.
Yeah.
So we're helping you, but it's slower now. We're gonna run a little slower like everyone else, but we're still on it.
Aaron Mitchell Jr. Hey, I like your profile picture. That's funny. He's got his tongue sticking out of his face here.
Okay.
He says, need one in New Jersey. Need to also find some good IME.
Yeah, you need New Jersey, New York, that whole area up there is, there's not a single OWCP doctor.
So you guys that you know, we're trying to wrap things up with our franchise folks, and due to this virus and everything,
Just slowed it down.
It
slowed
just
everybody
slowed it down for everything
Yeah.
nationwide, which is a good thing though. We all want to be better safe than sorry. So we are coming to all 50 states like Chris said. Whoa.
And Puerto Rico.
Yes. JJ said, I'm the funniest guy in the group.
Really?
When did you become a part of the Federal Injury Centers? All right.
In the group, that's great.
Sherry Baker says, had a virtual doctor appointment yesterday because I feel like I have a sinus infection. I get one every year from the pollen. Exactly. She called me in an antibiotic and that was all good. Today, I had just gotten home from running my mail route and received a call from my MUSC hospital saying that I have to come in for the COVID-19 test and self-quarantine until I get the results. She said it will take about a week to get them. So because I'm being made to quarantine, should I file work comp?
No.
I'm reading so many different things. I can't afford not to get paid for the week, and I need to save my annual and sick leave for upcoming surgeries. What do you suggest? Thanks, y'all are awesome.
So check out that thing that she posted, the bulletin she posted.
Yeah.
You're covered under this. So if your doctor makes you quarantine, you can be paid for the 14 days that you're quarantined.
Yes.
And so you just do what that bulletin says. You're going to need to get documentation that you're tested, you're quarantined, and you give that to your agency, and you'll get paid. Okay, and that's from the federal government. They want to pay you for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna read something to you guys from an actual patient, saying what the doctor says. So if you guys give me a little bit, I'll go ahead and read that.
And if you're that person and you know it's you, don't worry. We're not going to
we're not
reveal who
saying
you
any
are.
names.
Nobody knows it's you.
Sheila, my doctor says it's not work related. The claim was approved. Won't approve surgery because of what the doctor says. Physical therapy referred.
Go to another doctor.
Surgery, yeah.
Find another doctor. Any doctor that doesn't understand how physically demanding your job is and won't say that your condition is work-related when you know it is, find a new doctor, because that doctor's a coward. I'm not suggesting that non-work-related conditions should be filed as work-related, because that's fraud. But when you know for sure that it is work-related and the doctor refuses, you got to find a new doctor.
Yeah. Linda says, I know there isn't an OWCP doctor in Iowa. Where would the closest one be? Tom said Chicago. So if you need to go to Chicago, I'm with that team there in Hoffman Estates with Dr. Patron's office. Linda, if you need that info, message me your phone number and I could have, oh my God, I could have, Gizmo, I can have Dr. Patron call you tomorrow. Do you see, this is the laziest dog ever. He won't move.
Yeah, of course, Iowa and Chicago are not close, but it's closer than Florida and Chicago.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunately, we know for sure there's nothing in Iowa, so you're going to have to find a state nearby.
We will be coming to the major cities once the franchise gets going, to all the major cities in each state.
And I'm especially excited about bringing something to Iowa because, no offense to Iowa, but I've always said, in case there's somebody in Iowa that needs help, right? You're always my example because we know there's nobody out there. So we're going to be there to help you.
No, we have nothing in California, but we are
Nobody
coming.
does. There's nothing in California. There's nothing in New York, New Jersey. There's almost nothing in Chicago, and it's the third largest city in the country. Only Dr. Patron. So, and he's going to be expanding too to Southern Illinois.
John Richard, I got pulled out of work a year and a half ago by ambulance from the post office. Can I still claim this as a work comp case?
Absolutely. You have 3 years to file it, so a year and a half is only half of that time. No problem.
That's exactly what Tom said.
Hey, how about that?
You're such a dork. Aaron Mitchell says, what if you transfer agencies after a work-related injury due to the fact you cannot work in your old profession? Then the doctors find additional injuries after the fact. What do you file, and what agency do you file it through?
Well,
the old agency or new? Sorry.
You file it through wherever it happened. Okay, the old one or the new one, wherever it happened. You have 3 years to file. And which form you use depends on the way the injury happened, CA1 or CA2. Did it happen in a single shift or in multiple shifts? You're going to be covered as long as you're reporting within 3 years of the injury.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't worry about it.
Remember, you have 3 years. All federal employees has 3 years to file
Doesn't
their
matter what agency you're at, it's 3 years.
claims. Don't let them tell you 30 days.
Yeah, they say it all the time.
Yeah, don't let the supervisors tell you anything but the number 3 and 0.
And if you're watching
No,
this,
3
don't
and
even
0,
ask.
3 years.
Right.
Don't let them tell you you have 30 days.
You have 30 minutes, go! You have 3 years.
Yes, Linda, I will give you the info. It's Dr. Patron. He's in Hoffman Estates. Message me your phone number and I will have Dr. Patron call you in the morning. Or Linda, like Tom said, there's a doctor in Wisconsin too that they trained, Dr. Jonathan Say, and his dad is Dr. Jonathan Say as well.
Well, I don't know if his dad's name is Jonathan, but he's Dr. Say.
Yeah, it is actually Jonathan Say too.
Oh.
He's junior.
Jonathan and Jonathan.
Yeah.
Not Johnson and Johnson. Jonathan and Jonathan.
You're such a dork.
Say and say.
Yeah, Say and Say.
Say and say in DDC.
So if you need one of those phone numbers, let me know. Aaron Mitchell said, but what if the injury occurred more than 3 years ago, but it was just discovered as it related to other injuries already accepted?
Well, okay, so now you have an accepted condition, but you also have other conditions that are related to the accepted conditions. And so you can do a diagnosis expansion to add diagnoses, or you could do consequential injury to include it. So those aren't necessarily impossible either. Those can be done.
Sammy May said, I filed a CA7 for a schedule award in January. I still have not heard a thing about it. How long should I wait? I even sent a follow-up and uploaded to eComp and asked for an update status.
Call your claims examiner.
We know you guys hate that you have to call your claims
But you do.
examiner because they don't return your calls or they don't answer whatever. You know, my suggestion is if you can get an email from them, email them, call them every day.
Call them every day. I mean, right now.
Like a couple times a day. We
I
really
push
tell
them.
everybody to do that.
And some of the claims examiners are working from home as well, like more than ever. Probably they're all working from home. If I had to bet, I'd bet all claims examiners are teleworking. And so call them every day. Keep them busy.
Let's see this random here.
Keep them busy.
John Richard, can I get covered for workman's comp case for mental health issues brought on by the job? Example, stress at the post office.
Of course.
Yes, you can. So how you want to do that is you want to file your
It can be a CA1 or a CA2. It depends on how it happened.
I don't know why I
A
stuttered.
CA1 is one shift, CA2 is 2 or more shifts. It depends on how it happened. And then you need to go to a mental health doctor, like psychologist, psychiatrist, and go for a few visits, get a report from the doctor, take it to your workers' comp doctor, and have a narrative written. That can be accepted. We've done it lots of times.
Yeah, we get it like a lot of the people from the VA. So you just, like you said, just go to your psychiatrist, your therapist, or psychologist. It's 2 to 3 visits, and then you find your DOL doctor, and they collaborated the notes together, and it gets sent. And normally, from what we've seen and heard, it has been accepted.
These get accepted all the time.
Yeah. Hi, Maria. How are you guys doing with this quarantine here? Aaron said, I've gotten my local congressman's office involved on a few occasions due to the fact that New York OWCP office plays by the law or rules.
That's smart.
Good.
Anytime you get your representative involved, then it escalates it to the top of the food chain at OWCP. So that's a good deal.
Okay, Kelly. I'm gonna have Chris. We'll both talk about the things that we know for this virus.
Nobody
Not
knows
much,
anything.
and like I said on the post, to the best of our knowledge, we're not doctors. We're not going to tell you something that you're going to say, oh, but Gini and Chris said. So please make sure you guys understand we're saying we're not doctors. And Kelly says, I was told today along with my whole office that they will not tell us if anyone tests positive for COVID-19 via HIPAA. But I need to know.
HIPAA?
I have a daughter.
What does HIPAA have anything to do with the workplace? That's a doctor's office thing.
But I need to know, I have a daughter with severe health problems. Do you need to say who You don't need to say who, but
Yeah, so they don't have to tell you who it is, but they should, to be responsible, ethical, they should let everyone know if someone there has been tested positive, because it's your responsibility to go and self-quarantine now. But maybe the agency doesn't want to shut down, and so they're hiding it from you. I hope that's not happening, and I'm not making an accusation. Again, all of this stuff is, we're in uncharted water, you know, like we've never been here before. So I don't know, but I think they have a responsibility to let you know if you've come in contact with somebody.
so I'm going to read you guys something, and this is from a
Person.
that messaged us about COVID-19, that they have it, and this is how they got themselves paid and get us all taken care of.
Make sure you don't say anything
No.
personal. Okay.
She said,
Pay attention.
the key to getting administrative leave, which is listed on that form, that paper that I posted.
That's 14 days of pay.
Right. Please advise others to make sure to do this so you can get paid. So she's telling me to tell you guys. Sadly, now I'm in the rock and a hard place with bad asthma and on steroids to try to keep my lungs from giving into this. So she's saying, hold on.
Up there it tells.
All right, there we go. My union rep and management talked, and I would be paid administrative leave for 14 days because my doctor's note reads that I'm being quarantined for COVID-19.
Stop there. So she got a doctor's note that said that she was being quarantined for COVID-19. She got a doctor's note. Doctor's note. That's really critically important.
Yeah.
Is that the end of it?
That's how
Yeah.
you're going to get paid your administrative leave. So a lot of you've been asking,
How do we do this?
how do we do this? How do we get paid?
That's
You're going to
how.
go to your doctor. She said she had to wait a couple days.
Yeah,
So,
but that's how you do it, and you'll get your 14 days of pay.
so that's how you guys get it.
I like to just spend some time talking about this now. The
Yeah,
COVID thing.
the only reason I posted that paper is because I had like 20 people blow up my messenger and said, please post this because we can get the word out. And then from my post, I saw that there was like over 20 shares, which is good.
Yeah.
So we know you guys are going through this and you're dealing with it, and it's a scary time. So take the advice on that form. Like,
Yeah.
really do what that says. And now that you guys know you can get paid, if the doctor's note says you have to be quarantined for 14 days.
Okay, so some of you that know me know this about me. The rest of you are about to learn. I'm a news junkie. Am I a news junkie? I'm a news junkie.
God.
I want to know what's going on. Okay, I'm watching the news.
24/7.
I'm following Twitter. All kinds of stuff. I'm just paying attention. I'm paying close attention. This is my disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I'm in no way a medical professional. I'm not licensed in anything whatsoever. None. So nothing I say, just a second. Pay attention to this. I'm talking to you. Pay attention to that. I would never tell my wife that, ever.
I was going to say.
Nothing I'm saying should be misconstrued as medical advice. I have none, as I'm not a doctor. With that said, you know, I'm seeing that, you know, it's a heavy cough. It's can't breathe. I heard somebody say it felt like they were drowning in their own lungs. High fever. And so, you know, if somebody's got that, get tested. If you have it, get tested. I pray to God that you don't, that nobody does. But sadly, the estimates are like 100,000 people could die from this. And that's terrible. So that's important to know. The other thing I've been reading about is, and if you haven't heard about this, hydroxychloroquine, which was a anti-malaria drug that's been around for 70 years. They use it in Africa and other places, mixed with, I've heard a couple of things, but mixed with zinc and a Z-Pack, a common,
Z-Pack.
what is Z-Pack? It's a
Antibiotic.
antibiotic,
For
that's it.
flus.
Are like curing people. So there's this doctor in France that has had 2 different studies, and the only person in his study that wasn't cured was like an 86-year-old person. Other than that, 100% cure rate. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I just feel obligated to tell people if you haven't heard about hydroxychloroquine, because I had never heard of it before either. I've never had malaria, never been to Africa, never had any reason to take the drug or know about it. But this is what they're finding out, and so I just feel obligated to tell you about it.
Yeah.
If
So-
I were sick, if my wife were sick, if any of my kids were sick, I would demand this medication. I would tell the doctor, I don't care, I want it. It can cause heart problems from what I've read and heard, so your doctor will evaluate you anyways. But please just know what's out there. As far as how to get paid if you have to be off of work, look at this notice. I'll post it on Twitter as well, at Fed Injury Center on Twitter. And, so that you know administratively how you can get paid if you come into contact. And also what things are not covered, because there are 5 bullet points here, and if it's not one of the 5, it's not covered. And some people are also asking us, can OWCP pay for this? Is this an OWCP claim? Department of Labor has given some guidance on this, and they've said, yeah, it can be an OWCP claim, which made sense to me. But the problem is you have to be able to prove where you contracted the virus. That's hard to do because, like I tell my guys here in the house, just assume everybody has it. Everyone you come in contact with has it, so don't come in contact with people. But, and so OWCP claims examiners inevitably are going to make you prove that you came in contact with somebody at work or in the course of employment and not through your personal life or at home. And you didn't get it from somebody that got it from somebody that got it from somebody and came into your house. So it's going to be tricky. Can it be covered? Yeah, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be really, really hard to get it covered. I think the government's doing as much as they can to make treatment free, so that's good to know. Your agencies are giving you 2 weeks off of work and paying you under circumstances that meet the criteria, so that's good.
Yeah.
And hopefully you won't need OWCP, because if you need it as a last resort, it's going to be a problem.
So on the paper that I posted here, it says the provisions will apply from April 1st through December 31st, 2020. And also, those of you, it also states to get FMLA on this. So make sure you guys get FMLA, and it'll be good from April 1st to December 31st of 2020.
And too many people don't read.
Yeah.
Like, they look at a document like, it's words, I don't want to read it.
Right. And
Make an exception. You need to read this.
And it says that you are eligible up to 2 weeks of fully or partial paid sick leave.
Yeah.
And here are the 6 reasons that
it's 6, not 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
6 for qualifying reasons for COVID-19. And just
to be paid when you're off of work.
Right. And so let me make this clear. This is just for federal employees. This really is for the USPS. I haven't received one for AFGE, but I do know that the AFGE, Joe Mansour, put out a little...
I'm going to stop you there. It's not just for USPS. Look at this, United States Department
Okay.
of Labor. So this is a notice put out by the entire Department of Labor.
Oh, okay.
This is for all federal agencies.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's saying just to contact. Anyway, so here are the 6 qualifying reasons. 1 is subject to a federal, state, or local quarantine or isolation ordered by COVID-19.
So you've been ordered to stay home.
2 has been advised by a healthcare professional to self-quarantine.
So your doctor said stay home.
3 is experiencing the virus symptoms and seeking a medical diagnosis.
You're sick and need to go to the doctor.
4 is caring for an individual subject in order described in self-quarantined.
Yep. So somebody in your household is sick.
5 is caring for his or her child whose school or place of care is closed.
Now this one's tricky. Like,
Yeah.
This is different. So your kid can't go to school, and you have there's no child care. You have to stay home as a result. They're going to pay you for that for 2 weeks.
Right. And 6 is experiencing any other substantial similar conditions specified by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So those are the 6
symptoms
qualifying that you'd get paid for up to 14 days.
But if you're just worried that somebody at work might have it, that's not a qualifying factor, which is sad. But I think everyone should be vigilant and be aware. If someone at work is coughing and is sick looking, point that out. Stay away from them. And let management know, because management's job to fix that. It is management's job to keep you safe, even in this time. So if somebody that you come in contact with is sick, point that out. Don't feel bad about it. You're saving lives.
CA7 and CA7A have to be turned in, correct?
Correct.
If you don't turn in both, they won't pay, correct?
You only use CA7A if your time off is intermittent. Like, say on a Monday through Friday, you're only off Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You're at work Tuesday and Thursday, then you use a 7A. But if you're off work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you don't need a CA 7A because it's not intermittent. It's continuous.
Right. Pam said, I'm a city carrier and haven't worked for 4 years, file occupational disease claim, and was recently accepted. I'm claiming compensation for that time, but was denied because of not sufficient medical evidence. So how can my case be accepted and CA7 was denied?
Well, you need to look at your denial letter, see what it says, and have your doctor respond to it. It's hard for me to answer that because I haven't seen your denial letter. Although, as I said earlier, I have so much free time on my hands. If you'd like to send your denial letter, I'll be glad to look at it and give you some advice on that.
So Linda, you said, whether or not you test positive, if the doctor orders you to quarantine, you get administrative leave, correct?
Correct. That's the second thing on there, I think, if your doctor tells you to quarantine.
Yep.
It doesn't mean you tested positive. You were ordered by your doctor. You're not a doctor. Your doctor's a doctor, and they told you to quarantine.
Yep. Joyce said, my daughter had lupus and took anti-malaria drug for 20 years. Wow.
How about that? Yeah, this thing's been around for 70 years. There are negative side effects to all drugs. If you take it in massive quantities, there's negative side effects. If you read your fish tank cleaner and see that it has it on there and you decide to eat it, there's going to be bad side effects. Don't do that. Did you guys hear about that? You guys. You. So this couple looked at their fish tank cleaner and it said chloroquine on it, and they consumed it.
What?
Well, it turned out there was other stuff in there too. It was a chemical compound meant to clean the fish tank. And the husband died and the woman was like in ICU or something. Don't eat your fish tank cleaner.
Oh,
Come
boy.
on. I don't think anybody here would do that.
No.
Would you?
No.
Look, you heard it from me first then. Don't eat your fish tank cleaner. Jesus, just go to the doctor and they'll give you a prescription.
Angela said, cuteness. Are you cuteness?
She's talking about me.
No,
Oh, the dog?
the dog.
Oh.
Ashley Cox said, or a CA7A if you took off a couple of hours for a medical appointment.
That's right. It's intermittent. So you took off and you came back. It's intermittent.
Yeah. So, what other questions do we have, folks?
Come on. Or what have you been doing? What movies you're watching? TV shows you're watching?
So, we hope you guys are staying
Safe.
covering up, gloves. I just ordered gloves because when I go grocery shopping, I don't want to touch the shopping cart.
I know, I hate that. And how far did I just tell you I read the droplet can fly how far in the air?
20 feet.
20 feet? I think it was 23. Something like
Yeah.
ridiculous. How does it do that? With gravity and stuff.
You know.
And so, just we saw a line at Home Depot today. We're driving around.
Yeah.
And it's nice, they're preventing too many people from going in, but the line was packed in like sardines. Well,
They're
that
not 6
probably
feet.
wasn't getting it done.
Yeah.
Like every day I want to go for a ride in the Jeep. You can't go anywhere. Like, you're stuck. But I want to go drive. So I go drive down the causeway where there's like ocean on both sides, roll the windows down so I can smell the water. And then I see like a couple of people walking on the beach. And the beaches are closed. You're supposed to get fined or, go to jail. I don't want anybody going to jail. But I'm like, I'm not on the beach. Why are you on the beach? Right?
I'm glad I'm not on the beach.
I just want to be on the
I
beach.
just want to be on the mountains. Aaron Mitchell said, I finished Netflix, all of it.
You're the one who broke Netflix.
Let's see here.
All of it. That's funny. I started watching Billions over again. We have YouTube TV, so I can get Showtime. And I started watching Billions in season 1 over again. If you haven't seen it, Billions is pretty cool. And I've seen the 4 seasons. The 5th one's coming out in May.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I'm psyched.
April, you said the notice says April 1st to December 31st. I was quarantined last week. Does that qualify for admin leave? So if you see it at the top where it says to contact your union person and, contact your steward, your union rep, the NBA, or, whoever you guys work for, your district rep, and also contact your president and see if this will qualify for you. I know OWCP,
My gut feeling says that it will. I think I think it will qualify.
You just make sure you check with your union. Chris says, if on OWCP and the doctor ordered quarantine, are you supposed to continue to claim?
I don't know what you mean by claim. Here's what I'll tell you have to do. Bye, doggy. You're on OWCP, but you're quarantined. So during your quarantine period, you're not claiming OWCP. You're taking it's administrative leave, and so you're going to be paid administratively for that 14 days. When you're out of quarantine, you'll pick back up on OWCP. The case isn't going to go anywhere. It's just like paused. That's it. I hope that answered your question, but you basically switch off OWCP onto administrative leave, back onto OWCP.
And Juliana said, droplets can hang in the air 2 to 3 hours.
Insane, right? Yeah, and like it can stay on that like metal. Metal's the worst, I think.
Charlotte said there was a Rocky marathon this Saturday.
Hey, Rocky 4 was the best.
Yeah.
With
the one we
Drago,
saw, yes.
the Russian guy, the Drago, that was the best.
Sandra Moss said they are refusing to pay me for my 2 week while staying home to care for my kids since school is closed. So Sandra,
Documentation.
Yeah, document it. Get the note
From the school.
doctor,
No, from the school.
or the school saying, obviously school is shut down, but somebody's got to be in the office to maybe take notes or contact your what is it? Not the county that the school is in.
Yeah.
And see what they could do. I'm sure there's maybe a couple people working.
Let me tell you what you need to do. I have some experience in how to overcome a denial. So what you want to do is get a letter or get some notice, probably online. Your school's internet site is going to say we're closed, right? Print the homepage, it'll say it's closed. Take a black Sharpie and circle the place on that page that says it's closed. And then take this notice that we posted and circle the thing that says if school's out, I get to get paid. Attach those things together and turn it in. You'll get paid.
All right.
And call your congressman if you don't. Look, this is one. Call your congressman if you don't. You're federal employees. You have a valuable job. You can't help that you're home, and you have a way to get paid. Management can't prevent you from getting paid on this deal. Okay, the agency, Department of Labor, has mandated that you get paid. So send them the documentation. Make them pay you.
Renee Vargas, I just had surgery for thyroid cancer, went back to work. My doctor told me to stay home. I've been off for 3 weeks. Do I have to use my leave to do the coronavirus?
Depends on why the doctor told you to stay home. Now, this
Obviously
says if you were told to stay home because of the COVID-19.
Well, she had thyroid cancer.
I understand.
Yeah.
So you had thyroid, but if your doctor's intent was for you to stay home so that you don't contract the disease or the virus, then you need documentation on that. If you were said to stay home because of something unrelated, it's not going to be covered under this.
Mimi, hello, how are you? What is the cutoff time for a response for a second opinion?
Well, there's not one. I mean, there's no timeline, so you just have to be calling your claims examiner over and over and over and over until you get a response.
That was the answer.
It was a short one. Not a sweet one either, just short.
Thomas Lyman, I received a letter from DOL that I found insulting. It demanded I reveal where I have worked or volunteered for the last 15 months while they have been denying surgery my doctor says that I need.
The reason that they're asking you for that is that you're saying you're hurt and you can't work there at the agency. If you've been working or volunteering someplace else, they want to know what you've been doing. But here's the good news. It only will be have a negative effect on you if your injury wasn't so bad that you couldn't do your agency job. And I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm giving you just both sides of this deal. Let's say that your job is a letter carrier where you have to lift 70 pounds occasionally and you're walking 10 miles and so forth. It's a heavy job. You can't do that job anymore. They don't have any work for you. You still need to work. You're not getting paid. And so instead, you go work at Subway. And your doctor's restrictions don't say anything about standing. You just can't lift heavy things and walk 10 miles. At Subway, you just have to stand there and make a quarter-pound sandwich. That would not probably get you in any kind of trouble. They just want to know that you're actually hurt, that you're not off making money someplace else doing a heavy job. Don't sweat that. Unless you're off working someplace else doing a heavy job. Then that could be a problem.
Lori said, any information about Facet syndrome and SI nerve damage?
Not that much because I'm not a doctor. I'm really sorry, but if you ask me a specific question, in fact, if you want to ask a personal, private, specific question on Facebook Messenger, I'll be happy to get it to a doctor and see about getting an answer.
Has the work from home delayed travel pay reimbursement?
Claims examiners have worked from home forever. they've had the option to work from home for longer than I know, probably. So I doubt that the work from home is delaying that. I think the delays happen just because claims examiners delay.
Raymond Aranga said, saw a Facebook video about French testing treatment for the coronavirus, erythromycin, 500 milligrams, which is the Z-Pack, once a day, 250 milligrams once a day for 4 days, and the hydrochloroquine, 200 milligrams, 3 daily for 10 days. Hopefully it works. Yes.
Yeah, and that's the same thing
really
I saw.
hoping.
So that French guy, I saw an interview of him too, and he's a MD and a PhD, so he's basically the smartest guy in the room. And I mean, his treatment had nearly like a 99.8% cure rate, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why we're all panicking if 99.8% people can be cured. I don't know why we're panicking. And we don't even know how many people have it and don't even know they have it. It's not even deadly to those people. It's just deadly to the ones it's deadly to. But if we have a treatment to fix that, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But anyways, I want to be very careful. I'm going to tread lightly on this one.
Yeah, please don't hoard the toilet paper, because in about a month I'm going to need some, and I don't hoard toilet paper.
Yeah, and it's not needed. The stores are essential. They're not closing down. The supply chain is not blocked. Truckers are still trucking. You know, planes are still delivering. Amazon's still delivering. And the stores get shipments all the time. We don't have to hoard anything. Just go back another time and it'll be there. It's so ridiculous how people are hoarding.
All right, we're going to answer this last question, and we'll be done now, from Aaron Mitchell. Again, what if you had a legal business you owned and operated part-time, but after your federal workplace injury, you were unable to work other businesses? Is there any compensation you can receive from the loss you took from your other businesses by having a subcontract work out?
No, and it's crazy, but absolutely not. You just can't. They would say, look, your private business is your private problem. And, you know, we're responsible for the federal agency part of this and nothing else. Good for you for having that business, though. I think that's commendable.
Regina Meadows, how long does it take to get an FCE approved for OWCP?
Like 72 hours if they do it right.
And Elizabeth says, I had 3 surgeries, 1 on my elbow, 2 on my shoulders, on my right arm. Still at this point, 80% of my day, I'm in pain. What can I do?
Well, you need to talk to your doctor about that. It's impossible for me to know what you can do medically for your injury. But I know for sure that if the doctor hasn't said you're at MMI, that means the doctor probably has other things they can do for you. And I would ask your doctor.
So with that said, everyone, we want everyone to stay safe, wash your freaking hands, use freaking sanitizer, wear gloves, wear masks.
Don't cough on people.
Whatever you have to do to stay safe.
Yeah.
We hope that the little knowledge that we gave you is going to work for those federal employees that are going through getting sick, their children, their family members.
Or just the fear of coming in contact with somebody, because you have more chance of coming in contact with somebody than anybody else.
We are all scared. This is a scary time in this new millennium that we're dealing with, and we're hoping and praying that these drugs are going to work for everyone. All the essential people that need to be out there, we thank you for, from the doctors and nurses and the doctor staff and everybody at the hospital and everyone that's working for any federal government that you have to be there. AFGE and all the people in USPS, we know this is scary. So be safe. Yeah. Our mailman, he could drop our mail. I don't care. Just chuck it.
Yep.
It's okay.
I mean,
I'm not ordering.
We're good. Look, we've been self-quarantined for this whole 2.5 weeks, and we're all fine. But I understand not wanting to come to the door. You don't need to.
Yeah.
We're good.
We're good, and just go out for groceries, and don't hoard the toilet paper. I'm gonna need some.
And the hand sanitizer. I need a bottle. Okay, don't take all the bottles.
Don't, and just be safe. This goes out to everybody, even if you're not a federal employee. This goes out to our friends and families nationwide. Stay safe. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place, maybe not outside. Depends.
Love each other, take care of each other.
Yeah. We know a lot of things got canceled, like our reception.
Rescheduled.
It's okay. Yeah. Postponed. And
we're all making sacrifices.
We look forward.
They're making sacrifices. Yes. Forget about it.
It's fine. We were not upset. We weren't sad about it, and we look forward to. We already gave out the new date, and everybody, please, please, please stay safe and take it easy. And we all have to come together as a nation without being political and pray that this goes away, and it eventually will. And you guys have any more personal questions about your injuries?
Message us.
You can always contact Derek at federalinjurycenters.com, Jennifer at federalinjurycenters.com,
Yours Shirley.
Chris at federalinjuries.com, and Gini, Gini, at federalinjurycenters.com. And we will see you guys next week with a different topic. Hopefully we don't have to go back over this COVID stuff.
But we will,
will.
no problem.
Yeah.
We're happy to help.
And I'm not getting gray. This lighting is making my hair look gray. And
I think it's hot.
Everybody,
Gizmo says bye.
alcohol you later. And everybody stay safe. We
God
love
bless
you
everybody.
guys. Thank you for watching tonight, and we will see you guys next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Adios.
Bye.